And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and we want to engage in an effort to help you win, no matter what you're facing. And we want you to save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You'll find a lot of information there at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we've vetted, we bring on air each week to help you understand more about things in your daily life, current events, things happening in Tampa Bay and beyond. And it's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me. Back in studio, my man Jason Brooks, mortgage expert, Mortgage Management. Welcome in, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, good to be here. Glad to make it to the show again today, and looking forward to a good show.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff. Talk a little bit about things happening in the market and kind of keeping you in tune with what's happening with rates, mortgage rates, real estate. We talk a lot about real estate
right now. Yes, sir.
That's right. Lela Bloodsworth in the house as well, licensed psychotherapist and founder of Plan for Peace. You got an awesome event coming up this weekend, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Brandon, and Happy New Year to everyone. This Saturday at the University of South Florida is my Plan for Peace seminar. We'll talk more about that later.
USF St. Pete?
Yes.
St. Pete campus. And awesome, good stuff. So we're going to talk about, the holidays and how it affects people, the emotions that are evoked, and then now coming into the new year, setting those New Year's resolutions, maybe, trying. Sometimes we look at and we compare what other people have, and sometimes it's comparison against a facade. It's not really true. It's what they put out there on social media. So I like the topic of conversation today. It's going to be fun. And Adam Edenson in the house as well. He's a local dentist here in Tampa Bay and owner of Edenson Dental. Welcome in, sir.
Great to be here. How's it going, guys?
Awesome.
So, we're going to be talking about cold and flu season and how that affects your oral health.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff, I know.
Yeah, and also there's going to be some crossover there too with yourself and Lela as well, with the anxiety that comes sometimes when people have. I think a lot of times with fear, we build it up so big in our minds, and then it's a dog with no bite. The famous story of the dog that chases people, and then they see him and there's actually no teeth. The dog has no teeth. There's no teeth to the bite a lot of times. So we'll talk about that, and we have our Name That Tune coming up. Today's songs are list from Billboard's Top 100 Best Jock Jams. These are songs played at sporting events today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our feel-good story of the week as well is man gives boot off his feet to a homeless man on the subway. So we're going to make you feel good, add some positivity to your life here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. And let's give a shout-out to Brio Tuscan Grill, our restaurant partner here in Tampa, Hillsborough County. Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza, 2223 North Bay Street there, West Shore Boulevard. And it is a beautiful restaurant, excellent ambiance, great food, signature drinks, bringing you the pleasures of a Tuscan country villa to Tampa. We invite you to make your reservation today. Check out Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza, our official restaurant partner here, the Consumer Quarterback Show. And a hot listing just listed a property in Safety Harbor. This is a developer and also a builder's great opportunity here. It's 5 Marbay Lane, Marbay Lane, 5 Marbay Lane, Safety Harbor, $389,000. Double lot, and it's a 0.54 acre lot. So anybody that's looking to build or develop, you have a great rental building opportunity here, current, existing. And one of the best things is once you build this property up 2 or 3 stories, you're going to have beautiful views of the upper Tampa Bay, beautiful Tampa Bay, and some of our great scenery here in Tampa. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this, content today. We want to start off a little bit with an audible. We're going to help you call that audible here. Peyton Manning helping us with that. But today, I want to talk about The Power of Habit. Great book, very popular book by Charles Duhigg. It's Why We Do What We Do. So we'll talk about habits here. So you have the framework here. So you want to identify the routine, experiment with rewards, isolate the cue, and have a plan. So basically, the cue is going to be where you feel that afternoon snack. It's 3:30. You're starting to feel that snack. Do you want to go grab a donut, or you want to grab a healthy something healthy, maybe a smoothie or some type of a protein bar? Identify the cue and recognize the routine. So the routine in MIT research shows when you identify the routine, it's basically a neurological loop in your mind that consists of three parts. You've got the cue, the routine, and the reward. So to understand your own habits, you need to identify and understand the different components of your loops. And once diagnosed, the habit loop, you can supplant old vices with new routines, for an example. So instead of going and grabbing that afternoon cookie, you may go and grab a protein bar or something a little bit more healthy. Identify the routine and understand what are the rewards. How are you rewarding yourself and developing that substitute? And that's your quick 2-minute drill here on The Power of Habit. Great book by Charles Duhigg. Check it out if you haven't done so. All right, back here in studio, we got Jason Brooks, mortgage expert, E-Mortgage Management, and the Dale Bro team here in Tampa Bay. What are you seeing out there?
Well, yeah, big things happening. So, without getting too boring, if everybody remembers quantitative easing, I don't know if everybody remembers what that is, but essentially that was the government's way of artificially suppressing mortgage-backed securities or mortgage rates by purchasing lots and lots. You're talking, in the trillions of dollars of long-term bonds and mortgage-backed securities themselves. So what that did years ago was artificially suppress rates when we were going through a little bit of a tough time. Well, we stopped doing that a few years back. However, what we did not stop doing until recently was reinvesting the interest that was being made on holding those long-term bonds. So what you're seeing right now is finally, we've been talking about interest rates going up for years now. Well, now we have the playing field for that to actually happen. So essentially, starting in October, they did their first withdrawal, or first holdback, which was $4 billion. That they held back from repurchasing those same bonds. Mm-hmm. And in January, they did $8 billion. And every 90 days, they're going to start pulling back. So we've seen interest rates over the last, realistically, the last couple of weeks going up, about 1/4 point so far to rate, which is pretty significant move in a short amount of time. It's if you're on the fence, if you're considering refinancing or purchasing, it's a really good time to pay very close attention. This year will probably be the most volatile year we've seen for interest rates on mortgages in a very long time. Yeah. The market just went above 26,000. The record, we're setting these records every place, every time we turn around, especially here in Tampa, St. Pete. We always talk about how we're specifically insulated because we're South Florida. You got the beautiful sunshine, great investment, great leadership locally here. So when you look at that, coupled with everything that you're seeing, what do you think is going to happen in 2018 in terms of the real estate market? Maybe break that down into investors and yeah. Again, I mean, regardless of what interest rates are. Real estate is probably still one of the best investments you could possibly be in. Absolutely. Your long-term benefit for owning real estate, whether it's investment, whether it's your primary, whether it's commercial, at the end of the day, that's one of the best returns on your money that you can get. That's right. So there's really no scenario where it doesn't make sense. Obviously, from an interest perspective, it does have an impact on what you can afford once you start playing around with rates going up. Yes. If you're already, on a tight budget, essentially for every 1/4 point to rate on a $200,000 loan, it equates out to be about $75 a month to payment. So, it's just something to consider, what you're doing and when you're going to purchase. And the same thing on investment. If you're looking at cash flow properties, you need to see where that is. The other thing that does is it makes rent roll go up, right? So if the homeowner or the owner of that property's payments are going up, so will your rent. And again, essentially, you're going to see your rent increase typically about 3 to 5% a year. So again, it's still cheaper to own than it is to rent. And there's not a lot of inventory. So, if you're looking at purchasing or if you're on the fence, now's a really good time. You're starting to see some, the fixed adjustable rate mortgages come back into play because there's now a pretty good separation between a fixed rate and an adjustable rate loan. So it starts to make more sense when you look at the long term, short term. Yeah. And, from a cost perspective, it typically we're starting to see people actually buy down their rate on a purchase transaction, which you don't really see a lot of because it's out of pocket cost. But that's always the smartest way to go because, quite frankly, you get between 4 and 5 to 1 on your money. So if you spent $3,000 to buy your rate down, you typically end up saving about $15,000 in interest over the term on a 30-year note.
Yeah, especially if you're paying it off that whole 30-year, 360 months. So a couple things, dropping some good knowledge there, Jason. So, and by the way, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host. We're talking with Jason Brooks, eMortgage Management, the Del Bro team here in Tampa Bay. Local lender, support your local economy here. Not one of the big banks that took the bailout money, bought all of the commercial real estate on the best corners in the world. Support the local economy here with Jason Brooks, eMortgage Management. But yeah, so the longer you wait, effectively, especially this year, we're seeing a rise in interest rates. So that quarter of a point is going to be $75 a month on your payment on a $200K loan. That's point number one. Point two is if you're a renter out there, you're already paying about 30 to 35% more than the market is of what you could actually purchase at. So the rents are going to potentially rise even more with those rising interest rates. They're going to be passing it along to the tenants. And I think as consumers, some of us are spoiled. We're looking at 4.5%, 5.5% mortgage rates. We're not quoting a specific rate, so the mortgage police can't come after us. But ultimately, you have great market here, great time to buy, great time to get off the fence. So let's do this for the first 5 listeners who text or call in to our hotline. We're going to offer you a free rent versus own analysis. Now, this is going to be a breakdown of what you're paying in rent. We're going to put it on a nice spreadsheet for you. Jason Brooks and his team can prepare this. Now, it's a rent versus own analysis. So what are you paying in rent, paying off your landlord's mortgage, making him wealthy, paying down his mortgage, and allowing him to generate that appreciation every month, and that widening gap is wealth to him. So let's do a rent versus own analysis for the first 5 listeners who text in. We're going to put this on paper for you, make it make sense. Go ahead and text to 813-670-7372. Give us a call or a text message. Now text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying, 813-670-7372. And it may be for a friend of yours that is paying too much in rent, 813-670-REQB. And then Jason, maybe give them a follow-up what you'll do for them or how that's going to look.
Yeah, it's just like anything in life, it's not real until you put it on paper.
Yeah.
And typically when I sit down with a first-time buyer or somebody who's currently renting who maybe got gun shy and sold their house and decided not to buy again after the crash, once you show them how much money I use an analogy. Take $350, $400 a month, light it on fire on the first of every month. Just put it in the fire and light it on fire. That's essentially what you're doing.
Yeah.
You get no tax benefit from renting versus owning. You do a ton. Thank God we didn't lose all of that when the new tax law. But at the end of the day, it will always make sense to own versus rent. And with the programs out there now, 0 down payment stuff, you have bond programs, you have down payment assistance, you have the Home Ready product, which is limited down payment. FHA obviously is only 3.5%. If you're a veteran, you're crazy to rent because it's 100% purchase. It's the best loan you could ever have as a VA loan, regardless of what options you have available to you. So, at the end of the day, it's a really good time to own, and there's nothing here. There's no inventory. There's nowhere to build. So if you want to live in Tampa or in the Tampa Bay area, you're either buying on the outskirts where they're building, or you're buying a resale internally within which again, that price is going to just continue to move. Continue to go up.
We've got some great opportunities too. PlatinumMVPRealty.com. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.com, and we control a lot of inventory here as a top listing agency in Tampa Bay. And the other thing about renting, you can't throw the cool parties, man. You can't do that.
Come on, man.
So
Come on,
stay with us
man.
here, Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, we're going to talk more with our expert contributors. We're going to have our feel-good story of the week. Man gives boots off his feet to a homeless man on the subway. And more from our expert contributors. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, everybody. I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, PlatinumMVPRealty.com, PlatinumMVPRealty.com. All of our expert contributors come on the show, and we're going to help you win in any marketplace. Check out ConsumerQB.com, and we also have some brochures here that have a lot of our contact information. The website has the contact info for all of our expert contributors. You can also submit a form. The email will come directly to myself and our team. We'll make sure we get right back to you and help you win no matter what you are facing out there. We want to educate, entertain, enlighten, and engage. And we've got attorneys on the show, bankruptcy, real estate law, family law, all types of ways that we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I want to give a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price but without having to sign up for membership? Look no further at Signature Massage and Facial Spa. They offer a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95. Always no contracts. For those muscles and knots that need extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or sports massage. And if skincare is what you're looking for, they have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa, 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, or call 813-925-8898, 925-8898 to schedule an appointment. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get 10% off of your first service over at Signature Massage and Facial Spa. Also, check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. Check it out on Amazon. It's available now, and we're going to follow that up with a national syndication. We're in the process of building that out right now. All right, back here in studio, we're going to help you win. Jason Brooks in the house, eMortgage Management. Lela Bloodsworth, founder of Plan for Peace, licensed psychotherapist, and Adam Edenson, dentist here, local dentist, owner of Edenson Dental here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we got our feel-good story, our Name That Tune. So let's go ahead and talk with Lela Bloodsworth now. So, Lela, you know, today's world, it's such a different world than 10, 20 years ago, our parents even. There's, so many more opportunities for, some people would look at it as embarrassment online or shame and these types of things. Fear is overwhelming people. And, and you're dealing with it day to day, every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, Brandon, thank you for all that you do to get the information out to consumers, having people who are the best of the best on your show. I really appreciate that. I'm honored to be here today with Jason and Dr. Edenson, so thank you for having me. Yeah, most definitely, as a licensed psychotherapist all the time, especially after the holidays, people have what I call post-holiday blues.
Yep.
Social media is a big contributor, to that, whether you're intentionally looking to compare yourself to what's going on in other people's lives or not. Very often, all you have to do is just open up your Facebook page, and you're bound to see someone that has a more glamorous life than you do. So it's hard to, I think, kind of manage the needs and wants and balance that we have in our life, and not be competitive and not compare ourselves to what we see going on in other people's lives or families.
That's right. Yeah, you look at, and a lot of times, the comparisons may not be fair because they might not be 100% true and accurate.
Well, I can speak to that as a psychotherapist. I can't tell you how many people have come into my office looking for help, and their life story is nothing like their Facebook story.
Right.
So, I mean, we're gonna put the best of ourselves out there online, and sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. But I think the most important thing is when you can just show gratitude for what you have and appreciation for the blessings that other people have. It kind of keeps you out of falling into that niche of being, I guess, competitive or feeling, somewhat like you have less than, and your life is less than others. Right.
Yeah, and that's one of, Tony Robbins is, of course, one of my big mentors. I talk about him a lot. Business Mastery course multiple times at his UPW, and he talks about the big three. It's the loss. When you focus on and you take your mind to a place of lack, less, or never. If you feel like you're lacking, you feel like you're subpar, your self-concept, your self-perception, less, we're going to have less, or because somebody did something to us, we're going to have less in our life. And the worst one of all is never. I think something happened to me, and now I'm never going to be able to get back in favor with that person, or I'm never going to be able to reach that goal or that monetary prize that I'm looking for. Those are three of the killers there.
Well, in 27 years of practice, I've had two families who have won lotto, and I can tell you that did not change their life for the better.
Wow, have won the lotto?
Yes, absolutely.
There was a guy in Port Richey just won $430 million, I think it was.
He's young too.
He's
young
guy.
20s.
Yeah, I saw a Twitter post. He said, "Always the power of positive thinking. Don't underestimate it." I'm like, yeah, man.
Now that I think he posted a photo of himself and his family out in front of his home. So I don't really know that was the best choice. If he goes missing, that would be a reason why. But let's not hope not. That doesn't happen.
That's right. Yeah, have you seen American Greed? There's the guy in Lakeland that won. And ended up buried in a shallow grave behind a house. I mean, a lot of events happened there, but people manipulated the guy. I think he was somewhat illiterate and couldn't understand a lot of the contracts and things. But yeah, so when it comes to daily life, and by the way, we've got an event coming up. If you just joined us, I'm your host Brandon Rhymes. Lela Bloodsworth is the founder of Plan for Peace, licensed psychotherapist here in Tampa Bay. And this Saturday, 9 to 4 o'clock over at USF St. Pete campus, she's going to be hosting a really cool event. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I hold an event that teaches parents about the long-term consequences of trauma on their children. And a lot of parents think, well, I don't subject my children to trauma. I don't hit them. I'm not burning, cigarettes out on their arm, all those horrible stories we hear. Yep. But what the research shows us, I talk about the ACEs study, Adverse Childhood Experiences study, and the research shows us that even arguing high conflict in front of children can lead to long-term consequences of depression, drug and alcohol abuse. So I share that research to help parents wrap their head around just their behaviors, how to do it better. I'm not in there to shame parents, blame parents. I'm in there to get parents resolved. Some parents are court-ordered. Some parents just realize they need it. Right. But either way, it is a seminar that the reason why I call it Plan for Peace is to provide information so whatever circumstance someone is in, by the end of the seminar, they know the resources for help.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest challenges these days that we have is the divorce rate being over 50% now. We utilize attorney Joe Kearns as our expert contributor with family law, divorce attorney here in Tampa Bay. Great guy. If you know anybody in need, he has a really good approach to it, which is it's the big part of it is hey, number one, if there's kids involved, how can we minimize the effect on the children, and then secondly, the more that we can get along and have a mutual understanding that hey, it didn't work out, we had irreconcilable differences, and let's move forward to the next positive chapter of our life.
Yeah, absolutely. And the seminar is also for professionals. So if you're in a field where you work with children or families that are involved in the family law system or any kind of high conflict, I offer 6 continuing legal education credits and 6 continuing ed credits for mental health professionals. So it's $99 and definitely worth your time to come, whether you're a professional or an individual dealing with challenges in co-parenting.
Very good. Yeah. So that's Saturday, USF campus of St. Petersburg campus, USF, 9 o'clock early registration. Get there a little bit early at 8:30 or so. And so, Lela, what do you think else is? We got about a minute left in the segment here. So, what do you think is another key for people to live a better life? What can they do moving forward in 2018?
Well, I would really say don't hesitate on the inevitable. If you know you need help, Better to get it now than later. The longer we wait on the things that we know we need to do in our lives, usually they're bigger. They end up bigger problems than what we started with.
That's right.
So I'm always encouraging people to get in sooner. Don't hesitate when it comes to your mental health. I treat people for anxiety, depression. You can go to my website, www.bloodsworthintervention.com, and see all the services I offer, as well as registration for the website. But don't delay. If you need help, get in sooner, rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. And bloodsworthintervention.com, the website. And we also want to invite you to Brio Tuscan Grill this Thursday, just a couple days, tomorrow actually. It's going to be over at Brio Tuscan Grill. Thursday, 5 to 8:30, we're going to have a live event, live broadcast from Brio Tuscan Grill International Plaza. Come check us out. Network with us. We're going to have all of our expert contributors there hanging out at the bar and networking, and we would invite you. Love to check you out there. Have you come see what we're doing and maybe be a part of the show. We're looking for expert contributors on the show as well. So stay with us. When we come back, we got our Name That Tune. These are lists from Billboard's top 100 best jock jams, sporting events related. And our man gives a boot off his feet to a homeless man on the subway. Check it out. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. PlatinumMVPRealty.com is our premium sponsor. Top listing agency here in Tampa Bay. We're looking for inventory right now, so if you know of someone that might be interested in selling, maybe we have so many people looking to move into Tampa Bay. We're having a hard time finding homes for these buyers. So reach out if you're thinking about selling or potentially looking for a free comparable market analysis. We'll love to offer you a free comparable market analysis. 813-670-7372, consumerqb.com. You can reach out at consumerqb.com. And we want to give a shout out to our hotel partner, Kipton's the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites. You got the Castile restaurant on site that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's a beautiful place to have weddings, events over there. The Rooftop 360 Lounge is a great view of the intercoastal waterways, the Gulf of Mexico. You can overlooking the Don Cesar down there if you're looking south. And it's the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. And make sure you let them know if you call them up, make a reservation, let them know know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you get 20% off of your room stay, and you get hooked up with a nice bottle in your room as well. So we'll take care of you over there at Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora, beautiful St. Pete Beach. All right, we're back here in studio. All-star lineup today. Jason Brooks, E-Mortgage Management, the Del Bro team. Lela Bloodsworth, founder of Plan for Peace. She's a local licensed psychotherapist. She's got her event coming up on Saturday at USF St. Pete campus. And Adam Edenson, dentist here, local dentist, owner of Edenson Dental. Welcome in, sir.
How's it going?
Yeah, things are good.
Originally I was planning on, because I had a patient come in, today they actually canceled, saying that they had a cold and flu season. So I came up with this whole thing about, we need to, let you know how about cold and flu, and what you need to do with coming to the dentist.
Yeah.
And he shows up an hour and 30 minutes before I was supposed to be here. I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, well, I'm not actually sick. I just didn't want to come here. So,
he had the anxiety.
He had the anxiety of coming to the dentist. I was like, okay, well, let's sit down and we'll take care of you.
I'm anxious just sitting next to you.
Yeah, I'm a very scary dude. It's the beard, I think. That's what's really, it's really intimidating. So I came up with a cold and flu season sort of thing, but I think we should also talk about anxiety and coming to the dentist. So pretty much with going to the dentist, the things that you should look for with the cold and flu season, pretty much brush your teeth, kind of standard stuff. Drink plenty of water, and then what a lot of people forget, especially after they get a cold or get a flu, is they keep using the same toothbrush.
Yes.
And which is a really bad idea, because that toothbrush harbors a ton of bacteria, mainly bacteria that you had when you were sick, and you're just constantly reinfecting yourself. So after you start feeling a little bit better, toss that toothbrush, get a new one. If you want, you can come by my office. After we, do an exam and cleaning on you, we'll give you a free toothbrush, no problem.
Nice.
So, and, other fun things is, gargle with salt water, warm salt water rinses, and make sure you choose sugar-free medications, when you've got that cold and flu. So...
And I'd like to talk about some of your charitable ventures you've done. You've been down to Jamaica. You did some charitable work there.
Well, I actually not Jamaica. I went down to Haiti after the earthquakes, and that was pretty. It was an intense experience. One of my good friends, a girl from Academy, was like, Adam, I want you to go with me to Haiti, and we went down there for a couple of weeks. It was a life changing opportunity. We went down there with a Haitian Christian mission, and we were at their clinic, at their hospital, and I know I'm butchering this. I'm so sorry. Pons Farijan. I'm sure that's probably way off.
Is that the location?
That was the location.
Yeah.
It's like almost a border town with the Dominican.
Yep.
And and I was actually, being that I went to Jesuit, my best friend growing up, his brother is a Franciscan monk, who does a bunch of, he does convocation over at Jesuit, does sermons at, was it Christ the King?
I've heard of that.
I could be wrong on Del Mabry.
Yep.
And he just asked me if I wanted to do another trip down to Ecuador coming up this year. So, a lot of stuff, I don't know all the specifications and the dates yet, but he was like, Adam, we'd love to have you come down there. And I'm like, all right, well, let me know the details. So
that's all volunteer time.
Yeah,
right?
It's all volunteer time.
That's awesome.
Yep. Especially the one down in Haiti, we got mainly. I called up a bunch of corporations, called up all these other dental suppliers, and they gave me a ton of dental supplies to go down there with.
Nice.
Which was a little nerve-wracking because, when you're going through customs with a bunch of needles and a bunch of medication, they were like, what's this? And I'm like, I'm a doctor here. And they're like, okay. So, I'm pretty sure that would be, I don't think I'd do well in a Haitian prison.
Yeah, man. That's well. Hats off to you, man. Thanks for doing that. That's great that you're able to do that, and you take the time to do that out of your busy schedule. And if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here, Adam Edenson. He's a local dentist here in Tampa Bay, owner of Edenson Dental, and we're talking about some of the things you can do, preventive care. Some of the misconceptions out there as well. That people forget about. The flossing.
Mm-hmm.
They overlook that a lot. And when you have a hurt tooth, man. when your mouth's hurting, your tooth's hurting, nothing else is going your way.
Yeah, nothing matters in your world. You definitely need to come in. As Lela was saying,
Right.
generally, if you wait, it doesn't go away. It becomes a bigger problem.
That's right.
With mental health, as 100% with dental health. I have patients that are like, well, how long can I wait before I do this? And I joke, I do a little tongue-in-cheek sort of thing. I go, well, if you can, time it the day before it breaks, that would be perfect. And they were like, well, when's that? I'm like, nah.
The next piece of ice you chew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult sort of, generally when we tell you should do something, probably do it. So,
right away.
it makes all of our lives easier. It's same thing with going to the mechanic. I hate making that comparison, but if you're told you need an oil change or you're told that you need your tires changed, it's much easier to do it then as opposed to when the car's on fire.
Well, I think people just are afraid of being judged, whether it's mental health or going to the dentist. You don't want people to know your stuff, and people are fearful of being judged. So I know you don't do that, and neither do I.
Yeah.
I just go in there, do my job, and have a great day. Hopefully, I know I tell the worst jokes on the planet, and I'm so sorry. That's a preemptive apology. And I generally try to do it while you guys generally have stuff in your mouth, so you guys can't really talk back.
There's not much of a rebuttal there.
Exactly. Like, oh yeah,
You're
of
the
course.
best comedian on
I am.
That's right.
I find myself hilarious.
Well, no one wants to upset you when you've got needles in their mouths. I'll tell you
This is true.
Yeah.
So, and going back to toothaches and back to the flu and all that other fun stuff. Certain things, if you have the cold and flu, certain symptoms of the flu can be toothaches and so on and so forth. If you have like sinus pressure, because your sinuses rest right on top of your teeth, and a lot of people don't realize that. We get a lot of people that come in and they're like, I'm in tons of tooth pain. And we're like, well, can you breathe out your nose? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, it's actually your sinuses. You should drink a lot of water, drink soups. Try to maybe stay away from the juices just because it has so much sugar.
Yeah.
But
why is it that does the sugar have a negative impact on the flu or the cold symptom?
Just on your teeth.
Just teeth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got that.
Breaking it down, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
just because it's just constant, fuel and sugar for the bacteria just to go wild.
Yeah, and there's links too. I even had a client a couple years ago. The husband passed away during the process, and it was attributed to bad care of his teeth. It actually leaked in through the heart valves and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he had maybe like a heart murmur. It was a long story, but something along those lines. So it's a real deal when you think about your health. And real quick, what is the insurance side of this thing? How does this shake out? Because we know in America, we have a really, really tough situation with our health care. Costs are skyrocketing. The Obamacare, is in place. It helped, get insurance for about 40 million Americans. How is it affecting on the dental side?
Dental insurance is kind of, it's dicey. Because again, like you have PPO insurance, they do HMO insurance. And at our office, we take PPO insurance. If you've got PPO insurance, feel free to come by, give us a call, 813-632-3118. Again, that's 813-632-3118, and we'd be more than happy to talk all that stuff out with you. We've got we've got great people that work up at the front desk, that can help you with that sort of stuff. It's just every plan is so different.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to even keep track of it. Because there's so much, and depends on what your employer does, and it depends on what you pay for, and also their fun stuff. It's difficult to keep track. So we need to what we usually do is we talk it out with the insurance, and get everybody all on the same page.
Yeah.
Which people I have friends that come up to me, they're like, Adam, what insurance do you take? How much is it going to cost me? And I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah, so it's so difficult to place that, and a lot of times you're better off just going with a cash price, because I know a lot of times the doctors, the dentists, they incentivize that, for those types of scenarios. So yeah, stay with us here, Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors. We're going to have our Name That Tune. We're going to have some fun here with our Name That Tune today being from Billboard's Top 100 Best Jock Jams. These are songs that are heard at sporting events, and we have our feel good story of the week. A man gives his boot off his feet to a homeless man man, on the subway. So stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace. And we have a lot of fun here on the show. We're going to talk about, in between the breaks as well, we sometimes get a little carried away. 6601 Crikel Avenue in Riverview. This is a 4 bedrooms, 3-bath property. This is in Bloomingdale Hills. Now, check out this listing if you are in the East County side of Hillsborough. 349 is just listed. You got a fenced-in backyard, beautiful property. 6601 Crikel Avenue in Riverview. 4 bedrooms, 3-bath, over 3,300 square feet. And it's a great buying opportunity in beautiful Tampa Bay, and a hot listing for a fisherman down in Apollo Beach. This is a great for an outdoorsman here. 6508 Bimini Court, Apollo Beach. 3-bedroom, 3-bath property, $690,000. Beautiful listing here. 5,600 plus square feet in Apollo Beach. Straight shot out to the Gulf of Mexico, and you're enjoying the beautiful Tampa Bay scenery. All right. So in studio today, Jason Brooks, mortgage expert with E-Mortgage Management and the Del Bro team. Lela Bloodsworth, founder of Plan for Peace. She's a local licensed psychotherapist. And Adam Edenson, Dr. Edenson in the house, dentist there, Edenson Dental. And we're going to have some fun with the Name That Tune here on our show. Time for Name That Tune. All songs from today's list are from Billboard's Top 100 Best Jock Jams. These are heard at your local or national sporting events as well. So here we go. We got our song number 1 coming up, and these are ranging from 1977 all the way up till 1992. All right, here we go. Song number 1.
Queen.
We will rock you.
Yeah. 1977. That was a good year. That was the year I was born. All right, here we go. Song number 2. So Queen, that's a popular jam right there. Learned that one back in the day. All right, here we go. Song number 2. Wow. The final countdown.
Oh my God! Wow.
1986.
What is that at?
Oh, by the way, the number one Billboard Best Jock Jams was "We Will Rock You" is number one.
Really?
That one right there, the final countdown, number 17.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, number 17, 1986. All right, here's number 3. Here we go.
Ooh,
The Jump Around, back in 1992.
Is that really
number
92?
8.
Wow. Is that
Number
mainly
8
in
on the
Boston?
list.
Like, is that Boston? That's the number one theme, I think.
Yeah, back Jump Around, House of Pain, 1992, number 8 on the list of Billboard's best 100 jock jams of all time. Here's a good one, too, coming up here. AC/DC. This was good before the football games back in the day. Thunderstruck, 1990, Thunderstruck. AC/DC. There's your Name That Tune. From the Consumer Quarterback Show, having some fun, and we also do a little positivity injection for you, so we're going to tell you something good.
Tell me something good.
All right, a man gives the boots off his feet to a homeless man on the subway. So a Chicago woman was riding in the subway, and she witnessed a act of kindness here that brought tears to her eyes. So I'm heading home on the CTA red line, and there's a homeless man sitting across from me. He's older, he's weathered, minding his own business. His feet are so swollen, he's wearing the tattered gym shoes he has with the back folded down like slip-ons. I don't know how many pairs of socks he's wearing in an attempt to keep his feet warm, but there's blood seeping through, Jessica Bell wrote on Facebook. There's another man on the side of the doors. He's younger, carrying a satchel and a suitcase, also minding his own business. He's wearing a pair of big black snow boots. They look new. They look expensive. They're built for a Chicago winter. Quietly, in a blink of an eye, you'll miss it fashion. The younger man takes off the boots he's wearing, passes them to the old man. He opens his suitcase and gives him a pair of socks as well. The young man puts on the pair of shoes from the suitcase. These shoes are too nice, but it's not as nice as the boots. They would have fit the old man just as well, but they were not what this old man needed. He tells the man trying to clean his feet and make sure he changes into the new socks as soon as he can. Then the young man gets off at the 87th. Those of us who were close enough to see and hear the exchange were floored. The shoes off his feet. So there's a cool story in our feel-good story of the week.
That's awesome.
Gave him some boots. Boots in the winter.
Absolutely.
All right, let's jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning round.
All righty, lightning round is going to consist of top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom, and Jason Brooks, you're up first, sir.
All right, we're going to start with end with where we finished. So one of the things you can do at home as a consumer, you can track this, is looking at the 10-year Treasury yield. The 10-year Treasury yield currently at the 255, 256 level. 260 is as high as it's been in 12 months. If we break above that, you can see us going to 3%, which we haven't done in over 3 years. So one way you can track that during the day, go to Bloomberg, go to rates and bonds, look at the 10-year Treasury, look at the yield. And also, too, if you're preparing to purchase a property or refinance this year and you're self-employed and you have not had somebody look at your tax returns in the mortgage business yet, please, before you put your foot in your mouth, please, before you file those tax returns, have somebody actually look at them, make sure that you're not going to regret filing it the way that you did.
Yeah, great point. Reach out to Jake Alexander Financial as well. He's our local tax expert. He's an enrolled agent with the IRS, Alexander Financial. Have him take a second look as well before you file. Jason will look at him as well in terms of a qualification for a mortgage. Sometimes you're not having that in mind. You're looking at minimizing the taxable events and the taxable income versus what you could afford if you're looking to buy. So make sure you take that into account. All right, top tips, nuggets of advice. Lela Bloodsworth.
Sure. So of the services I provide, divorce, mediation, therapy, parent coordination, if you think you can't afford it, my advice is that you can't afford not to. And if you're looking for services, all you have to do is call. I will find a way to provide services to anyone who calls. I have scholarships. I have sliding scale fees. So the long-term consequences of waiting are way more costly than the short-term investment. But if anyone's listening and you think you can't afford my seminar or any other service I have, give me a call and we'll make sure we can figure it out.
Awesome. Appreciate you doing that. Dr. Adam Edenson.
How's it going? So pretty much the same thing. I will kind of reiterate exactly what Lela says. You can't afford not to take care of your teeth. Definitely come in and have us take a look at it. Pretty much, don't be fearful of us. We're all really nice people, super friendly. I know I have a very, scary looking beard, maybe. I don't know. That's pretty much it. I mean, please give us a call, 813-632-3118. Again, that's, we're at 109 West Bears Avenue. But, try to be careful for the cold and flu season. And, some of your dental pain might be in relation to that.
And charge your Tesla up, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry. We're still waiting on Tesla. Apparently, the Hillsborough County,
transportation.
They lost all the forms.
Oh no!
So Tesla actually drove to there and was like, "Where?" And so they actually took care of everything for us. So it was great. And so hopefully this week or next we'll all get the charging stations installed. So
they lost the form. Sounds like a bank when you're trying to do a short sale back in the day, right? Oh, we lost all the documents. So one of my tips would be to reach out to our friends at Temple Float over in Palm Harbor. If you are into meditation, prayer, this is a really cool opportunity. You float. You're suspended in a tank of salt water, 1,000 pounds of salt dumped into this tank, kind of like a tanning bed almost. You think about it when you put you pull it down and you're kind of enclosed in this capsule. But our friends at Temple Float, that would be a great opportunity for you if you are, into goal setting, you're into meditation, you're into prayer, go and relax in there. And it's just a really cool experience. Put on, some music if you'd like, or a guided meditation. Temple Float, say hello to my friends at Temple Float. Ron is the owner over there at Temple Float. All right, let's do another round here, maybe quick 30-second shots here. Lightning round, top tips, Jason Brooks.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Top tips. Don't play in traffic. My business is not very glamorous, right? What do? We sell money. That's basically what we do. At the end of the day, we all get our money from the same place.
Right.
Nobody has something the other guy doesn't. What we do differently with us is we truly are a no overlay investor, which allows us to do pretty much anything under the sun, including manually underwriting loans when necessary. And we act as a fiduciary in the sense that, we truly want the best for the customer.
Nice.
It doesn't matter what type of loan you do. It doesn't matter what your cost is. It doesn't matter what any of those things are. We get paid the same regardless. So we want to make sure that we're taking the best care for the client, not only now, but always. And you should have the same trust in whoever you trust your mortgage to.
I like it. Consultative approach. Lela Bloodsworth.
Right. So you don't need anyone to tell you that you need help. If you're even asking yourself if you need help, you probably do. But the best thing to do is just to assess how much pain and discomfort you're in and just, take the initiative yourself. People don't need to be court-ordered to services.
Yeah.
They don't need to have someone else tell them that they need to go. Just do a self-assessment. And if you feel like you're struggling with something, my number is 1-800-819-7882 or locally 727-348-7323. I provide services in and out of state of Florida and internationally. So
yeah. Awesome. Great show today. Thanks to all of our expert contributors, Jason Brooks, Lela Bloodsworth, Dr. Adam Edenson. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, carrying it with you to and from your commute. Be a force for good in the community. And it's cold out there still this time of year. Maybe think about donating blankets and jackets and any kind of heavy clothing that you may have to a local food bank or church. So please continue to tune into our show, the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com. Brandon Rhymes PA on Instagram at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Twitter at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram. The Consumer Quarterback Show as well has very similar handles out there. So we'll see you. We'd love to connect, and we'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.